Ladies and gentlemen, this is the OnePlus 7 Pro. I think it's safe to say that this is the company's best smartphone to date, as it should be for a number of reasons, and it's also the most expensive. This iteration of the phone costs $750, and we'll talk about the specs because the OnePlus 7 Pro checks off an impressive number of boxes, making it one hell of a smartphone in 2019. First off, the OnePlus 7 Pro comes with a screen protector, which I chose to peel off. And like its predecessor, the OnePlus 7 Pro has a fingerprint reader inside the display, and it works so well. It is blazing fast. I think all smartphone manufacturers should include a fingerprint reader in the display, but that's a different story. OnePlus went full send with this 6.67-inch edge-to-edge AMOLED display with curved edges, and I'm not really sure how I feel about them. Samsung started the trend in 2014 with the Note Edge, and I don't know if those rounded edges have any tangible benefits. Personally, I prefer a flat screen, but OnePlus really did away with the bezels on this phone. Anyhow, this display is special not just because it's pretty much bezel-less, but because it has a 90 Hz refresh rate, meaning everything is super fluid. Traditional smartphones and frankly most monitors have a 60 Hz refresh rate, meaning it can display 60 frames per second natively. Other phones that come to mind that have a high refresh rate, the Asus ROG has a 90 Hz display, and the Razer Phone 2 has a 120 Hz display. It's basically impossible for me to portray this on camera because I'm shooting at 24 frames per second, but if you go to an Apple store and you try the iPad Pro that has ProMotion, just swipe on the home screen and you can see how fluid it is. I hope that more manufacturers put these types of displays in smartphones because they're especially great for gaming. And speaking of gaming, the OnePlus 7 Pro is a beast. It's got a dedicated gaming mode that takes advantage of the phone's 12 gigs of RAM. Yes, you heard me correctly. 12 gigs of RAM in a smartphone. We are living in the future. In my testing, PUBG Mobile ran super smoothly, and yes, I got the dinner. This phone does super fast charging over USB-C. You can charge just under 50% in 20 minutes, thanks to what OnePlus is calling warp charge. It fills up that 4,000 milliamp hour battery quite quick. You've still got the alert slider on the side, and the OnePlus 7 Pro has two speakers, one forward-facing that doubles as an earpiece and one downward-facing. It gets quite loud, but it doesn't sound that good when it's at max volume. The OnePlus 7 Pro is running the latest version of Android with the company's custom Oxygen OS, which looks pretty clean and is close to stock, which I like. The CPU inside the OnePlus 7 Pro is the Snapdragon 855, which is the same one that's found in the Galaxy S10, so top of the line there. Moving to the back of the device, OnePlus calls this Nebula Blue, and it looks so good in person. I can't really do justice with this camera, but I don't think I've ever seen a phone that looks like this before. You've got a triple lens camera system, a super wide camera, a standard camera, and then a telephoto camera. And I like that smartphone manufacturers are continuing to jam more and more lenses in the back so you can have a lot of diversity inside your pocket. Here's a bunch of sample photos that I took with all three cameras on the West Side Highway in Manhattan. And you can take pictures in multiple aspect ratios, and that's pretty cool. The OnePlus 7 Pro can shoot up to 4K 60, and you can easily change modes right from the camera. No need to dig in the settings. There's also a bunch of other shooting options as well, like portrait mode, which looked pretty damn good. There's one thing that I haven't mentioned yet. There's no bezel on this device, meaning there's no notch, so where's the front-facing camera? The OnePlus 7 Pro is the first phone I've personally ever used that has a motorized front-facing camera, and it is so cool. The sliding mechanism is so smooth, and it makes this satisfying noise when it goes up and down. And it even has this animation whenever it's activated. I tested the front camera to make sure it worked outside of the native camera app, and sure enough, it does work in Instagram and Twitter. When the front camera is not in use, it automatically closes, which is good. Obviously, you don't want to drop your phone, but I can't imagine what it would be like to drop it while the camera's popped out. If you're interested in upgrading to the OnePlus 7 Pro, for the first time, OnePlus is doing trade-ins. You can get up to $450 only in North America, and all devices are eligible, including the OnePlus One. I think in terms of design and the specs on paper, the OnePlus 7 Pro is the new Android phone to beat in mid-2019. OnePlus users, is this worth an upgrade to you? Can you justify the $750 for 12 gigs of RAM, for an edge-to-edge display with a 90 Hz refresh rate, and that motorized front camera? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. There's a little red button that you can press so my videos pop up in your feed. Press it if you want to see more.